Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to review for you the brand new extended range by Photobook Worldwide. If you like my videos, please make sure to subscribe and click on the notifications button to make sure that you never miss a new video. So first of all, I hope everybody is okay and self-isolating, doing what they responsibly have to do. Obviously, I'm home as well, closed in, and it's the best time to film videos to, kill time and be productive. So if you haven't seen my previous review, like 3 years ago, I did a review on Photobook Worldwide, and back then I was showing you this book here, which is the lay flat book by Photobook Worldwide. But since then, they have added so many new books and things into their range that I thought a new review is overdue now. If you don't know who Photobook Worldwide is, it can be a bit confusing. If you stay in America, you probably know them as Photobook America. If you're in the UK, it's Photobook UK. All of these websites are the exact same company and the same production, but they have a dedicated website for each country around the world. So the company obviously has a huge range of photo books, but they also have lots of other things like home gifts, decor items like canvases, frames and prints, photo gifts, business products, and also some stationery items. I'm going to do a review of some of their other products at a future date, but today I want to focus on the whole Photobook range to show you what you can do now, what are the options, and how good it is. So let's dissect the Photobook range because it can be a bit confusing. When you go onto the website, you see two main categories. One is photo books and you've got flush mount albums. The confusion starts when you look at the photo books and you will see flush mount photo books. And then you're thinking to yourself, what's the difference between a flush mount photo book and the flush mount album? Well, not too much, but I'm going to tell you the difference right here in this video. If you go for the photo book, which has a flush mount binding, they call it a flush mount book. But if you choose the flush mount album, which is a lot more expensive, it's going to be a flush mount album. So FMB and FMA. The technology in the two books is identical. They are put together in the same way and they are using the same print quality. The differences are quite subtle. You have a lot more control over the materials in the flush mount albums because you can choose from luxury covers that are not available for the photo books. You can choose from 3 different thicknesses for the pages, and you can also choose the color of the core if it's black or white. I'm going to show you 3 books today. One of them is the one I've already showed you, but I want to show it again just for comparison. So that's the lay flat, which looks like that. This was a year in review book from 2016. And the second one is a brand new book from my trip to Argentina from February. And this one has the brand new Canon Dream Labo print inside on a high gloss paper, so you can see the colors are tremendous, nice gloss. And the third book I want to show you is a flush mount photo book with a deluxe cover, and again this was printed on the Dream Labo printer as well. So there we go. Obviously it has a lot thicker pages. Now I'm going to show all of these books in my close-up shots in a minute. I'm going to talk about size, cover, binding, paper, quality. But before that, I want to talk to you about the creation process. So when you go onto the website, the first thing you have to do is decide whether you want a photo book or a flush mount album. If you go for the photo books, then you will have to select one of the many ready-made books, or you can start a blank canvas. When you selected the ready book that you want to work on, you have to select the size. They've got loads of sizes, again more about it later. And when you selected the size, you have 1 to 4 options for the covers. Now not every single cover is going to be available for every single size. When you selected your cover type, you have to select the binding type. And here again, some of the bindings are not available for some of the cover types and some of the sizes. So it can get a bit confusing, but if you work through each size or each cover type, then you'll find what you're looking for. The only bad thing here is that you can't select the paper type, and the paper type is going to decide on what printer the book is going to be printed on. Now, this is a problem that they need to fix, because what happened with me as well, I created my book, and then if you go and put your book into the checkout cart, then that's where you have the option to select your paper. Now let's go to the close-ups. Let me start with the sizes. They've got loads of sizes. In the square, you've got 6x6, 8x8, 11x11, and 12x12 inches. In the landscape, you've got 8x6, 11x8.5, 14x11, 15x11, 16x12, and 17.5 by 12 inches. And you've got one portrait size, which is 8x11 inches. So as you can see, there's a huge selection of sizes. I don't actually think I've seen another photobook company selling 17.5 by 12 inches books. Imagine when you open that, it's going to be twice as big, so it's going to be 35 inches open. That's like gallery size. And that's all about the sizes. Let me go on to the cover options. So you've got 4 types of covers. The most basic one is, of course, soft cover, which we all know what it is. It's basically the same as this, but it's not hardback, so it's just a slightly thicker paper than the inside pages, and it's a lustrous finish, so kind of glossy. The soft cover is available in 7 sizes. It's the most affordable, and you should choose it for smaller projects. The hardcover, which is this one here, is available in 7 sizes as well. It looks exactly the same as the soft cover, but in this case, obviously it's hardback, so it's a lot more durable, and also it looks nicer. So with this one, you've got 2 options. The 2 options are the matte and the lustrous one. So the lustrous is not very glossy, as you can see. And here is the matte. So you've got these 2 options, and when you look at the cover, you can see that it's fully personalized. You can have anything you want on the front, on the back as well, and there's no company logo on the back, which is great. The deluxe cover is this one here, which is the most luxurious and the nicest of all. Well, nicest if you like, you know, an elegant cover. This one has the biggest choice of materials. You can choose leather in 13 colors. You can choose faux leather in 12 colors. You can choose a wood look in 4 colors, and you can choose buckram in 12 colors and cambric in 1 color. So the one here is the faux leather, and I think is the taupe color, if I'm not mistaken. And have a look at the texture. You can either have this hot stamped, or you can have gold, silver, black, purple, and white stamping on all of these covers. And it's great for weddings or anything very special. And the final cover option is the debossed hardcover, which is basically the same as this one. The same materials that you can choose from, but it has a little window on the front where you can feature one of your photos, your favorite or the best one. Let's go on to the binding types. So I've got one of each, thankfully. So this one here is the perfect bound book. And as you can see, it opens with a nice double sheet white spread. And then here is the book. Now, what you notice instantly, if you don't know what perfect bound is that the book doesn't open completely flat. The pages are glued together at the spine. So a little bit is going to be lost in the middle. But this binding type is the best for very long books because the pages are not very thick, and also it doesn't take up too much space. It's not very bulky, and also is the most affordable of the 3. And that's how it looks from the top. Let me show you the premium lay flat, which is this book. And my problem with this book, I don't know if this has changed recently, was that the first page of the book starts on the back of the front cover. Now, as you can see, this book is from 2016, so a good while ago. As you can see, it stays fully flat because it is printed as double spreads, and the double spreads are stuck together, creating a continuous flow of images, so nothing is getting lost in the middle. The pages are thicker than in the perfect bound book, obviously, because 2 sheets are stuck together, so it's twice as thick. And that's how it looks from the top. Now, the last one and the nicest one is the flush mount binding. So when you open this one, it again starts with a beautiful textured double page spread, and then the book starts. Now, this one is very similar to the lay flat, since the pages are printed as double spreads, but the difference here is that there is a sheet inserted between the pages for extra rigidity, so these pages are a lot thicker. And again, there's nothing getting lost in the middle. It's just a continuous flow of images. Now, this one is probably your best choice for weddings or something really special for high quality images. It's the nicest binding from the 3 that I talked about. and it's definitely my favorite. So these two books are the same amount of pages, but this one here is the flush mount and there's the lay flat. So you should be able to see that there's a sheet inserted between the pages, and here they're just stuck together, so it makes the book twice as thick. Now let's move on to the print quality. So I'm going to show you this one first. I'm going to go from the back now, just to be able to show you all the pictures. So obviously this one is on a very glossy paper, which always makes the print quality look much better because it's more dynamic. And this one here. So you can have a look at the print quality. It's very sharp and the colors are very well balanced. It looks very vivid, and this is exactly what I wanted. So my pictures were just as vivid and doesn't seem oversaturated. It looks just as good as I wanted it to be. When I finished editing my books, I left the image enhancing option on the yes tab. So I don't know if they did anything to these pictures, but I like the result. Very nice and sharp. The company uses two kinds of printers. They have Indigo printers and they have the brand new Canon Dreamlabo, which is a very superfine inkjet printer. The way you can select which printer to use for your book is through the paper selection. Now for this book, I selected an HD Canon paper, which is the high gloss paper, and that's printed automatically on the HD Canon Dreamlabo printer. The company doesn't use any silver halide printing, but the new inkjet printers do an amazing job with color reproduction and smoothness of tones because the dots are so tiny that you can practically not see them. This one here was printed on an Indigo printer. And if I show you the difference in quality, let me just show you a nicer quality picture. So it's nowhere near as dynamic. The print is not as sharp and the tones are not so well balanced as in the Canon print. The last book that I have is again using the same printer, which is the Canon. And again, you can see how sharp the print is, how nicely the details come out, and the shadows, highlights both look really, really good. So I was very happy with the Canon Dreamlabo printer. If you have the budget, please go for that. You're not going to regret it. I'm not saying that the Indigo is not good, but the Canon is so much better than the Indigo printer when it comes to high quality photographs. So let me talk about the paper choices now. They offer a very good selection of papers, from matte to very high gloss, and textured papers, non-textured, smooth papers. So it's a really, really good selection compared to some other companies. The paper you choose is going to decide on what printer your book is going to be printed on. Now, when you do your book selection before you start editing it, it doesn't give you the option to select the paper choice. You have to do that when you put your book into the checkout cart. And I find it really weird because you might have created a whole book and then you get to checkout and you realize that you can't choose the paper that you wanted to choose because it's not available for the size. So here is my suggestion. If you are looking for a very specific paper or a specific print quality, then make sure to look through this guide that I'm giving you here now. So according to that, if you choose a perfect bound book, you have 4 options. You have the Canon High Gloss HD paper, which is 205 GSM, and this one is going to be printed on the Canon Dreamlabo printer. If you choose the matte fine art paper, it's going to be a canvas textured paper with a matte finish, but it's not going to look anything like this one, and it's going to be printed on the Indigo printers. The third one is the premium silk, which is basically the most common photobook paper type that you can choose, and it has a very smooth surface. It has a subtle sheen, so nowhere near as glossy as this one, and it is printed on the Indigo printers. The last one is the 190 GSM luster photo paper, which is very similar to the silk in thickness, but it's going to be with a lustrous texture, which is, you know, the very subtle pearly texture, and that one is going to be printed on the Indigo printer as well. If you choose the lay flat, premium lay flat book, you've got 2 options. So the 2 options are ePhoto Luster and ePhoto Matte, and they are both 400 GSM, so a lot thicker than the ones in the perfect bound book. The one in this book is the ePhoto Luster, and it has a very subtle lustrous texture, but it's nowhere near as textured as a Fuji Luster photography paper. Now what you need to know about these two papers, one is completely matte, this one has a very subtle sheen. Both of them are printed on the Indigo printers. Your final option, if you go for the flush mount binding, you have again 3 options to choose from. The first one is the 118 GSM Canon high gloss HD paper. Now the GSM should not mean anything from this point on because these pages are mounted onto a rigid stock, so it's going to be open 7mm whichever paper you choose. The second option is the 210 GSM Canon high luster HD paper, which is the one you see here. So if you don't like that really strong high gloss finish, then this is your best choice. It has the same amazing quality print. The last one is the ePhoto Matte 190 GSM, which is very similar to the one in the lay flat books, and that one is going to be printed on the Indigo printers. So anything that you choose which has the name Canon in it from the paper types is going to be printed on the Canon Dreamlabo printer. Hopefully that was a bit more understandable. Now let me show you the accessories that you can buy with the book. So the simplest one you can choose is the slip box, which basically you put the book in and it slips in like that. It's very easy, very simple, there's nothing on it. And for this one you can choose from almost the same materials as for the cover of the deluxe book, so from linen, leather, lots of colors, and you can also have the stamping on it. So that's the cheaper one. I think it's around $17 if I'm not mistaken. And the second one is the presentation box, which is a lot more luxurious. This one again comes in the same materials and colors as the book cover, so you can match it. There we go. Nothing on the spine and nothing on the back. And when you open it, it looks like that. So it's an amazing wedding package accessory. You can lift out the book with this little ribbon, and as you can see, the color matches completely, and the stamping on the front as well. I think this one is $100, and again, remember these are full prices, so if you use any kind of discount codes, 50-60% off, then the price could come down to $7 or $50 for this one. Now let me talk about the editor a little bit. So this has changed again since 2016, and thankfully it got improved and has a lot more features, and it's a lot more user-friendly. So I really liked the new experience in the editor. When you open up the editor, on the left side in the menu, you can add your photos. You can add these from your computer, Google, or from a previous project, but at the moment you cannot use them from your social media accounts like Instagram or Facebook. Then you have your backgrounds, clip art and masks, and of course your layouts. In the main editor window, you see your book and you see 2 pages at a time. And again, there you have add new photo, add text, add shapes, and you have a very useful little button, which is the shuffle button. So with this button, you can either add a photo to the layout, take away a photo to the layout, or reshuffle the whole layout with the same amount of photos without you having to adjust all the boxes and text. The last thing you see there is the settings, where you can change the size of the book, the cover, and the binding. In the bottom you see your pages, and you can switch from viewing just 2 pages at a time, or you can see the whole book and you can rearrange the pages if you need to. In the top you have your preview and add to cart button, and you also have a save button, but you don't have to worry too much about that because it's going to auto-save everything automatically. Now let me talk about delivery. To my knowledge, all of the books come from Malaysia. The books came with DHL very fast, and they offer free shipping above a certain amount, and also it was very well packed, so it came in a box like that. Prices. The photo books are very reasonably priced, and if you have ever seen their website, they always have sale on. Sometimes 50%, 60%, sometimes even 80% off. A lay flat book 11 by 8.5 inches size, so that one here, for 24 pages is $69 full price. What are the pros and cons? Well, the pros are great size selection, great quality print for all of their books, good binding, There is a book for every budget. Finally, they have very nice covers and nice presentation boxes. Now, some of the cons that I noticed, as I said, you can't see your paper options until you go to the final checkout process. That needs to change. There is no silver halide printing at the moment, but it's not a big problem because they have the Canon Dream Labo, which is almost the same quality or even better in some cases. You can't connect to your Instagram or Facebook accounts to get your photos. And another thing that I found is that you can't order books from different websites. So this was my review of Photobook Worldwide. I'm really happy with the range that they have now. It really covers everybody and they have so many options. If you have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments under the video. If you're looking for the latest voucher codes for Photobook Worldwide, they're going to be on my blog, thephotobooker.com/deals. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon.